Welcome to Cougan's Corner. I have some more crazy news stories for you today. There certainly seems to be a lot of crazy stories out there, and I hope you like the ones that I have been picking out. Our first video is pretty intense, no matter how you slice it.
That's right, Liz. Seth Holcomb and Lainey Nicholson, who you see behind me here, were arrested early Saturday morning. They allegedly tried to rob a Conoco gas station on Pulaski Pike, armed with knives. And the surveillance footage was just released to us by Huntsville police. It captures the scary incident and how the clerk fought back. Take a look. Surveillance cameras show how a daring robbery played out at a North Huntsville gas station, and the clerk made for a surprising turn of events. It happened early Saturday at a Conoco on Pulaski Pike. According to police, Seth Holcomb walked up to the counter to make a purchase. He leaves the store, then comes back in as if to make a second purchase. That's when he pulled out a knife at the counter. What he didn't expect was that the clerk would pull out a machete of his own. Holcomb tries to run away at that point, but the clerk remotely locks the door. That's when a full-on knife fight broke out, tearing up the store. Holcomb eventually escaped the store by throwing something through the window, but the clerk chased him outside. That's when the second suspect comes into play. Lainey Nicholson was waiting outside the store near the suspect's car. She allegedly also pulled out a knife when the clerk chased the first suspect out and also started fighting with the clerk. Holcomb ran back inside the store and took the cash drawer out of the register. But the clerk didn't make the suspects get away easy, pounding on their car with his machete. He told police that he wanted to leave enough marks on the vehicle so that they could easily recognize it. A dangerous chain of events, cameras documenting the whole thing. A clerk who did what he could to defend the business and himself. Now, the suspects were able to escape, but they were arrested by police a short time later. They're charged with robbery and other offenses. Amazingly, there were no serious injuries in this incident, and no medical treatment beyond first aid was needed by those involved. Liz, unbelievable.
That was amazing.
I'm reminded of the movie scene in Crocodile Dundee. I kind of play this whole thing out in my head like this. This man pulls out the knife and tells the clerk, "Give me your money, I have a knife." And then I imagine the clerk saying, "That's not a knife. This is a knife." Well, actually it's a machete, but it's bigger than yours. I know some of you may not get this next reference, but I want to watch this video again with the theme of Benny Hill. Some people will never learn that crime doesn't pay. I'm sure all of you love your grandparents. Some of you probably wish you could share your grandparents with others just because you love them so much. Well, some young ladies decided to do this in a very unusual way.
Davis police are investigating a disturbing report that high school students made cookies mixed with cremated human remains and then handed them out to their classmates. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Julissa Ortiz. Police say the cookies were passed out to a number of unknowing students at Da Vinci Charter School. CBS 13's Lori Wallace has the latest on the investigation.
A disturbing story, and Davis police say this is a first for them. They are working right now trying to identify two students from Da Vinci Charter Academy here in Davis who are part of this morbid baking plan, putting a relative's remains into the ingredients. The remains allegedly belong to one of their grandparents. Police are investigating whether as many as 9 classmates ate the cookies.
I have not heard of anybody getting sick or anybody being harmed as far as physically or physiologically by this.
When I saw the headline, I was thinking about
thinking like that's like an Onion headline, like that's not real. There's no way someone made cookies with their grandfather's ashes.
A Davis Joint Unified School District spokesperson did issue a statement reading in part, "This case has been particularly challenging and we have responded appropriately and in the most respectful and dignified way." We tried to talk to a lot of students on campus here, didn't want to go on camera, but said they did have friends who ate these cookies and had heard a lot about the story. I'll send it back to you.
What happened 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, I was just about to go into my 6th period class, environmental science, and a girl who's also in the class stopped me and asked me if I wanted a cookie. And I knew her, so, I figured it's a cookie, why not? And I took a bite of it, and she told me there's a special ingredient in the cookie. And I had assumed that I was kind of worried. I thought that she had put drugs in it or something. So I asked her if, I was like, is this a weed cookie or something? And she said no. She said it was her grandpa's ashes. And then she kind of laughed. And I was kind of horrified. But class was just about to start and I wasn't exactly sure what to do. So I held the cookie in my hand and I walked into the class. And right when we got there, we were supposed to have about 40 minutes of work time just at the beginning of class, and we weren't supposed to like move or get out of our seats or anything. So I just kind of had the cookie there in front of me while I was working. I wasn't sure what to do.
What did it taste like? Is it different?
The taste itself wasn't really any different, but like if you ever ate sand as a kid, you can kind of feel it crunching in between your teeth. So there was a little tiny bit of that, but the percentage of it that was ashes was very, very small.
I don't know about you, but I will never look at a sugar cookie the same. And if it feels like it has some sand in it, I'm going to lose it. The next time someone offers me a homemade cookie and tells me that it has a special ingredient in it, I'm going to have to turn it down. I hope you like these crazy stories and was just as disgusted at some of them as I was, especially that last one. If you like these videos, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.